Brawl Talk just dropped, and this update is going to change the game forever. We'll start off with the 2 new Brawlers, and then we'll cover Masteries, which are absolutely massive. RT is the chromatic brawler for the Mystery at the Hub season, okay? He is the brawler in charge of all the surveillance of Star Park, and he is trying to solve the mystery of what happened at the hub. Or mystery at the hub? What is the hub? The hub? The hub is the newest location in the game. Pretty much basically like if you think of an amusement park, it's where all the different lands all connect into one center location. As for the mystery of what happened there, I don't know, we'll find that out sometime in the future. Now, if you haven't been able to figure out what RT means, I haven't been able to figure out it either, so if anybody has any ideas, let me know in the comment section below. But his regular attacks are some kind of an alarm or like light that actually latches onto whatever it hits, and just like Bell's super, it actually increases the damage of the next attack that actually hits them. But it's not quite as good as Bell's super for a few reasons actually. The attack will only add 10% additional damage to the next attack that actually hits the brawler, whereas Bell's does 35% damage. Also, it only increases the damage for the next projectile. So for example, when Pam actually deals damage to Sandy, the first hit is 429, and after that it's only 390. Also, it does not stay on enemy brawlers forever. As we can see, this Chester actually loses the mark after not getting hit for a certain period of time. So RT is really going to be best paired with brawlers like Brock or Piper that have really hard hitting projectiles that deal all their damage in one hit, as opposed to brawlers that do chip damage like Colt or Tick that spread out their damage across multiple little projectiles. Now, RT can mark multiple enemies with his projectiles, so you're actually going to do a little bit better when you're trying to hit multiple enemies rather than focusing on all of your damage at one enemy at a time. But where things get really interesting are his super, okay? RT literally splits into 2 halves. His upper half, which he can actually move around and still attack like normal, and then his lower half, which is just going to stay put. And once that happens, his attacks actually become like Jackie, where it attacks in a location around him, and whenever you use his attack, both his upper half and his lower half will actually activate their attack at the same time. So he can literally control 2 areas at once, and I think that that's actually going to work out in Hot Zone as well, which is really interesting. And if he's able to then charge up his super while he's split in half, then you can activate your super to return back to his normal self and gain 1000 HP back. It also looks like he can use his super to teleport back to his lower half when he reassembles himself, which might be kind of interesting. It might be useful. I don't know how useful that actually will be, but teleports actually work pretty well with 8-Bits Gadget, so it might end up getting some pretty good use. Honestly, RT actually looks pretty strong, okay? Each attack deals 1,500 damage, which is how much Janet can deal with each attack, but he can only hit 1 target at a time when he's in his combined mode, whereas I believe that he'll be able to deal damage to multiple enemies at a single time once he's actually split between his top and bottom halves. What's more impressive though is how far his range is for how tanky of a brawler he is. Alone, he has 7,200 HP at max level, which is similar to like Pam's and 8-Bit's health. That's pretty tanky. But his health doubles when he splits his body, and each half will actually have 7,200 HP, which is actually like really crazy. Now, I don't know if defeating just his lower half will actually get rid of both halves, or just defeating his top half will do the same thing. I don't actually know how that works out. In fact, I have a lot of different questions that I have for RT and how he'll work out, which I will only be able to answer in a future sneak peek for the RT Olympics. So subscribe for that, of course. Now we are also getting a mythic brawler named Willow. She's the first of a brand new swamp trio, I guess, and she'll be available to unlock in early April. She's also the 6th thrower added into the game, okay? She throws her lanterns for her main attack, which she can obviously throw over walls, and it's very similar to Barley's, except for whoever is hit by the attack will get poisoned and take damage over time, even if they happen to move outside of the attack area. Now I can't confirm this now, but I think that it actually deals damage over 3 seconds because it seems like a reasonable amount of damage based off of how much we can see it deal with every single tick. But interestingly enough, it looks like the poison damage will actually stack if you can hit the same enemy with multiple attacks at a time. And if the enemy is able to dodge the initial damage, but then they walk back onto the puddle, they will then get poisoned and take full damage. Each tick of damage only deals 570 damage, but honestly, that can add up really quickly over time, especially considering the fact that the full amount of damage is guaranteed to happen as long as they do get hit at least once by it. Unlike Barley, who's only able to deal full damage if an enemy stays inside inside the puddle for too long, which honestly doesn't happen too often. Now for Willow's super, she has a very interesting super. She fires a leech that will take over the mind of whichever enemy brawler she actually hits with it, okay? It looks like you will instantly lose control of Willow. Once it lands, she'll just be like stuck there and unable to move or anything like that. And you will then take control of the brawler that you actually hit. You won't be able to use their supers, you won't be able to use their gadgets, but you will be able to use their attacks. And you can use those attacks to attack their enemies, or their teammates, your enemies, which is like actually really crazy if you think about it. We don't know exactly how long the duration of the super will last for, or that mind control will be, but apparently it can be shortened by attacking the controlled brawler, or by actually defeating Willow, which might not be too hard to do because she won't be able to move herself. She can only control the enemy brawler that she actually latched onto. Now when she does actually latch onto an enemy brawler, it will fully heal them, and that brawler cannot be killed when they are under control, which is interesting. It's a very unique ability, and honestly I do think that it's going to be overpowered. I'm getting flashbacks to when Leon was first released, and we all thought that invisibility wasn't that cool, but it was actually insane. I think that's what Willow's gonna be like. Like, I think that this has insane potential. I mean, just imagine taking control of an enemy, attacking their teammates, wasting their ammo, or just running off into the showdown smoke, right? Like, there's a lot of really interesting things that you can do that I haven't even had time to really consider. And by the looks of it, there's actually nothing that a person can do if they actually get hit by it. They can only hope that their teammates are going to take out Willow, or hope that they will actually attack the target that Willow actually latched onto, or just chill and wait until the effects wear off. Once again, I'll be covering everything you need to know about Willow, including her gadgets, her star powers, and like how she does in comparison to every other brawler in the Olympics events. So, you know, subscribe. Now it is time for us to talk about the biggest feature added in this update, and that's Masteries, guys. This is huge. Supercell is going to be removing the old XP system and replacing it with Masteries. Every brawler in the game has their own Mastery track, and that means that you can unlock the rewards for every single brawler's Mastery track. So you're getting tons of rewards just by playing every single brawler in the game. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I will take every free bit of gold and coins that I can possibly get on my account. But that's not including just power points and credits, which we're also going to get. So we're gonna be able to unlock more brawlers thanks to Masteries, and upgrade more brawlers thanks to Masteries, and get free gadgets and star powers thanks to Masteries. But on top of that, you're going to be able to unlock aesthetics for your favorite brawlers, including pins, player icons, titles that you can put on your profile for everyone to see, and the battle screen start, which we'll talk about later in this video. But on top of Brawl Pass and the Club League, guys, they're adding like a whole other section of progression right into the game, which is just, I mean, it's actually really awesome. There's a very simple thing that you can do in order for you to progress along your Masteries for each individual brawler, and that is to win matches with each individual brawler, okay? The more trophies that you have for the brawler, the more Mastery points you'll get for winning. So obviously if you're more skilled, or like your matches are actually harder, you'll be rewarded for that. If you're playing in higher club leagues or power leagues, the number of points that you'll earn for each match is actually going to be based off of your ranks for those leagues. And no surprises here, friendly matches in Map Maker won't actually provide any Mastery at all, but I think that's actually pretty fair. What we don't know will happen is if you're playing duels. If you're playing duels, will you get Mastery for all three brawlers that you played, or only the one that you actually played? Like, what happens if you do duels and you win for the first brawler, but you have two other brawlers that like don't end up actually being played at all? Will you get Masteries? I don't know, we'll find out in a future video. But one thing that's actually really cool is that you'll actually get extra Mastery points for being the star player of the match. So if you really carried your team to victory, you're gonna get rewarded for that, which is awesome. And one of my favorite aspects of Mastery is that you will not lose Mastery for losses, okay? So skilled players will be able to gain Mastery points faster, but it's going to be accessible for everyone. And as long as you're willing to put in the time and you're dedicated to a specific brawler, you will reach the end of that Mastery. You will officially master that brawler. And you know, that's gonna take some time though, because in Brawl Talk, they said that it would take around 48 hours to complete a Mastery track for a single brawler. Also, another interesting thing to keep in mind is that there will be a cap to the amount of Mastery points that you can actually earn in a given day. However, they said that it's gonna be similar to like the XP cap that you could actually get for playing Brawl Stars every single day, which honestly, that was a really high amount. You had to play it for several hours in the day in order for you to max out on that experience points. In fact, that very rarely happened to me, hardly ever. So I'm not too really worried about that. Also, there's actually a really cool reward for reaching the end of the Mastery, which is going to be getting a title for that specific brawler. and every single individual brawler is going to have their own unique title. I'm really hoping for a spin to win title for Dynamite. There's some really interesting and funny things they could do with this. And once you do actually get a specific title for a brawler, how are you gonna show it off? That's right, the new battle start screen, okay? This is going to appear before the start of every single match, including Showdown, where you will see everyone in the current match and their individual player card, which is going to show off all sorts of cool things. Not only is it going to show off their current brawler and the skin that they're using, but also 2 player profile icons, a pin, and a few other things, okay? You'll be able to see the title that they selected, which is actually really cool. I think that titles, they're really cool. I like them. That's really cool and unique. But everything I mentioned so far is pretty much cosmetic, which isn't always super important to people. I personally really like it, but it's not important to everybody. But there are 2 very important things that will be shown that I do think are important and good to know at the start of each battle. First is the current mastery rank for the brawler that their player is actually playing that match. This is gonna help you know how experienced they are with that specific brawler, which is cool. But also, second is their fame level, okay? Fame has meant almost nothing up until this point, but since it is only unlocked and upgraded to higher ranks once you actually have every single brawler unlocked in the game, now fame will actually be shown at the beginning of the match, and while it doesn't directly show how good you are as a player, having a high frame rank is a sign that somebody's been playing for a long time, which also suggests that they have a good amount of experience and are probably pretty good at the game. And that makes fame actually pretty cool in my opinion, because if you've unlocked every single brawler and you have a really high fame rank, then people are gonna be like, whoa, dude, that guy's got a high fame rank. Like either they're gonna like fear you or they're gonna be able to trust you, right? And that's really cool. But what's even cooler about all this is it sounds like you'll be able to create a default profile that could just apply to any of your brawlers, or you can go into every single individual brawler and personally customize them, which is like kind of fun and cool, right? You can get all these different cosmetics and all these pins. You can show off all sorts of profile icons and stuff. I think it's pretty awesome. You could like even color coordinate all of your icons and like your titles or whatever. Like there's a lot of cool things you could do with it. It's honestly just really fun. It's a cool thing for them to actually add into the game, but it's also going to help a lot in certain game modes like Showdown, because now once the Showdown match starts, you'll be able to see all of the brawlers that are currently in the match and actually be able to plan around countering specific brawlers. There are so many times that I've seen posts of people suggesting just this. We love the cosmetics that we have, but we want to be able to show them off a little bit better. Well, now that's actually happening in this update. And pairing titles with the whole Brawl Mastery thing, like it's really cool. Like it's gonna feel like there's a good reason for you to want to log in and actually like play the game aside from just doing your daily quests. Also, they are going to be adding duels and basketball brawl into the game, and it seems like it's happening permanently. That's really cool. They're going to be sharing a new game slot, and that will actually swap between the 2 modes every single day. And I am so excited for duels to be more permanent, right? Because it's such a good way. I love pushing low power brawlers with one brawler that is kind of over leveled, right? Like I love doing that. It's so great. But on top of that, they are adding indestructible walls into the game, which are walls that cannot be destroyed. You've got a Dynamite super that lands on him, doesn't destroy him. It's actually very interesting. It's been a very long time, clear back since when the game was in beta, since indestructible walls have actually been in the game. And I think this is actually going to have a pretty big impact on the meta, at least for certain brawlers on certain maps. For example, wall breakers, they're no longer going to be good counters against close range tanks or throwers or heavy bruisers like Sandy or Nita. And so all these different brawlers are going to be able to permanently have these walls up forever, which is going to make them much more viable and honestly, probably a lot more fun to play as well. Now that's not everything in the update. Obviously, we've got some awesome skins coming, okay? First up, we've got El Mayordomo. I'm sorry guys, I'm so sorry. El Mayordomo, that's better, right? Who will be unlocked at tier 1 of the Brawl Pass. He's dressed up as an evil robotic butler, which is cool, and I don't know what else to say about it. This is awesome. Then we also have Crimson RT, which will be unlocked at tier 70 of the Brawl Pass. He becomes this Dark Lord plant-like thing with tentacles. It's kind of creepy. I don't fully understand it, but it looks really cool. And RT is also getting a Patrol RT skin, which is going to cost 29 gems. It doesn't look too much different from like the original skin, but then again, 29 gem skins rarely do look different, but I actually really like the colors on this one. Next is Alley Cat Bull, and if I'd had to guess, I would say it will probably cost 79 gems. That's just a speculation on my part, but I will be doing a giveaway in my my Discord server, so you should click the link in the description below or go to discord.gg/Kairos for a chance to win this skin for free. We also have Mariposa Piper. Oh my gosh, this one is so cool. This is gonna be the Power League skin, okay? And it's so awesome. I just love the whole butterfly theme. I don't know how I feel about Piper's hair color being different, but at the same time, I kind of dig it. It's really awesome. She kind of looks like an awesome hero from some sort of a spy movie, and it's actually really cool. Next, we have Detective Gray, which I'm gonna guess will cost 79 gems. It does come with a black and white version called Noir Detective Gray, which I believe will be purchasable for an additional gem cost after you purchase the original, or maybe you'll just be able to buy one of the two. I don't know how it will work for sure yet. But next we have Kitsuna Lola, which I'm going to guess will cost 149 gems. This skin, oh my gosh, it's so cool. It comes with a bunch of different effects. The whole aesthetic of it just looks really awesome. In fact, it kind of makes me wish that I liked playing Lola more often because it's such a cool skin. We also have Oni Otis, which I'm gonna guess will cost 149 gems. I know I'm guessing high cost for these, but they're really cool skins. He's an evil spirit. The projectiles that he shoots are just so awesome. Then there's Tengu Mike, who I'm gonna guess will just cost 79 gems. Just a guess here. And honestly, all three of these Japanese mask style skins, they're just so cool, okay? Next is Belle Nani, and like, I could see this being 79 or 149 gems. It's an Easter skin, and I think that Danny said it best in Brawl Talk. It's a cute overload is what it is. Then we have Sultan Carl. Oh my gosh. This skin is so cool. I can almost guarantee it's gonna cost 149 gems. Not quite enough for 300 gems, but 149 makes sense. The animation is cool. The projectile is super cool. It's super cool. It's just a great skin. Then we have Popstar Janet. I could see this one being either 79 gems or 149 gems, okay? Animation is really cool. In fact, that's really what this comes down to. The animation just looks really awesome. But next we have Spirit Knight Frank, and this is the Supercell Make winner. And it was made by Winky XSQ. Oh my gosh. This skin is so cool, okay? I would be shocked if it wasn't 149 gems. It's just so awesome. But we're also getting some remodels, okay? Tanuki Jessie and Summer Jessie are getting remodeled. These animations are actually really cute. Now, sometimes when they've remodeled skins in the past, they have actually changed the gem cost to actually be higher or lower. Well, I don't know if it's actually happened lower, but sometimes they've increased the gem cost. So you might be able to actually save some gems by buying it before the update actually lands. However, I will be covering the official gem cost for each skin in a future sneak peek. And just a reminder that Jessie's other skins will be getting remodeled later on. But then we also have Dark Bunny Penny and regular Bunny Penny. Those skins are getting remodeled as well. And honestly, I think that's really epic. They look fantastic. And finally, we have Axel Willow, a 29 gem skin that will be released when she is released in early April, okay? Like the other 29 gem skins, it's pretty much just a color variation, but I actually really like the color change for it. They're nice colors in my opinion. And that's pretty much everything that I can talk about in this specific video. I'll be revealing all the details in a future sneak peek for pretty much everything else as soon as Supercell lets me, so make sure you subscribe for that.
That's right.
And check out this other content over here. If you haven't already seen my free-to-play series, I highly recommend checking out. It's actually been a fantastic journey. I've really enjoyed it. For now, this is KairosTime ticking by. We will see you in Brawl Stars.